Okay, now this is the per unit cost analysis. That one is the total cost analysis, and this one is the per unit cost analysis. So that is mean, you have to determine the cost of producing the product per unit. In this case, you just have to simply determine the total cost. But here, you have to compute for the cost of producing the product per unit. That's why we have this what we call total cost or average total cost, which is also known as average cost. We have average variable cost, average fixed cost, and marginal cost. Ang average total cost, we have to determine this by dividing your total cost over quantity. Average variable cost, your total variable cost over quantity. Average fixed cost is your total fixed cost over quantity. And marginal cost, this is the change in the total cost over the change in quantity. So we just have to get the average total cost, average variable cost, average fixed cost, and marginal cost. When we say marginal cost, that is the additional cost incurred when you are going to produce additional unit of output. And we all know that when we are going to produce more output, there will be additional cost incurred. That's also true in the marginal material, marginal product. What else? We have marginal revenue. So when we say marginal revenue, that is the additional revenue you earn or the firm earned when there is an increase or an additional unit being sold. Marginal product is the additional output you do for every additional unit of one input or other inputs and inputs. So when we say marginal, we refer to the additional output, additional satisfaction, additional costs. So here, marginal cost is very important in the per unit cost analysis. Now let's explain the behavior of the per unit costs. You can see that average fixed cost goes down. What do you think is the reason why it goes down or there is a decrease in the total fixed cost? Average fixed cost. So again, when we say average fixed cost, that is finding for the average of the product while you continue adding or producing more. Average fixed cost continue to decline. It will continue to decrease, but it will never reach zero. And if there is production. But if there is no production, then that will reach zero. Unless there is still production, your average fixed cost will continue to decrease. But again, it will never reach zero. The behavior of our average total costs. So our average total cost is in connection with our law of diminishing returns, explaining the three stages of production. So in the three stages of production, we have the first stage, this is the second stage, and then the third stage. First stage is there is an increase in output, or we call it increasing returns. The second stage is the decreasing returns, and the third stage is negative returns. You can see in our average fixed cost, at first, sa pag-produce of output, your average total cost na decrease, nagamay. Take note, this is the cost, and if the firm will increase production, ang average total cost will decrease until it reaches the minimum point. This is the minimum cost. And average total cost is at its minimum when our total product reaches the maximum level, reaches the maximum number of output. Shall we say this is 100? So the desired number of output which the firm or number of laborer which the firm should use, because this is laborer, this is the output. So kung magamit siya 100 kapag trabahante, this is the desired number of laborers that the firm should produce in order to maximize the output. So once the total product reaches the maximum level, and then our marginal product is 0, this is where our average total cost is at its minimum. That shows the firm should stop producing. Shall we say this is 200 units? The firm should stop producing additional output if it reaches 200 units. Because that is where the firm will be able to minimize its cost. If the firm will produce more than 200 units, our average total cost will start to increase. Therefore, the firm should not produce more than 200, otherwise, there is an increase in the cost of producing. That is also true for our variable cost. Our variable cost will decrease at first. But when it reaches the point where you will be able to achieve the lowest point of average variable cost, then that is the minimum cost for average variable cost, for using the variable cost. Now, na-siya diferensya here because we have average fixed cost added to in order to get the average total cost. So when we say average total cost, that is equal to average fixed cost plus average variable cost. That's how we get average total cost, aside from the formula where total cost equals